it has been reported that COVID-19 leads to systematic inflammation, putting patients at high risk for venous thromboembolism and pulmonary embolism. As such, we have put together a panel of doctors to share their thoughts on COVID-19 and its relevance to thrombosis. Thank you for coming.
All right, so to kick off the event, we would like to welcome one of our chief guests of honor, Dr. Sudhakar Jonnalagadda. Dr. Jonnalagadda is currently practicing at Southern Gastroenterology and Hepatology Consultants, Inc. in Georgia, and serves as the president of the American Association of Physicians of Indian Origin. Thank you for being here. Can you please say a few words?
Good morning. Thank you for wonderful introduction, and I want to thank you, the UPASA organizers, to invite me today. And good morning here and good evening in India. Currently, I'm serving as the 37th president of American Association of Physicians from Indian Origin, and I want to welcome our chief guest, Mayor Parsadale and his wife. And we all know that Thrombus Day is October 13th. Rudolf Virchow is a German physiologist, is the one who invented pathophysiology of thrombus. Since then, October 13th will become a Thrombus Day. We should thank them. As an AAPI point of view, what AAPI means, it represents over 100,000 physicians in this country, and second largest physician organization in USA, and also #1 ethnic organization in USA. AAPI physicians, 1 in 7 patients in this country taken care by a physician of Indian origin. You can understand how strong, vibrant this organization in North America. What we are doing, what we are offering to the community. First of all, let me go with the younger physicians, younger students. Anybody interested to pursue medical career, which is good. We have a mentorship program we are offering to the AAPI, and they can approach the AAPI. They can get some ideas and information, which medical school they want to apply, how to start their career. And also, we started this year the paid clinical observership program, especially children coming from India. If they want to rotate with the physician here, we are offering through AAPI, and they can rotate for 4 weeks and get certificate and get exposure to how work with American patients actually. Because when I came to this country 30 years ago, it's very hard for me for them to understand my accent. And this way, this is a good bridge for them to understand, and the best manners. They're all very important for the patient here. Okay, these all will give you a good bridge for the physicians who graduated from India. If they want to pursue their career in the United States, this observership program will definitely help them. Apart from that, during the COVID time, AAPI did a great job and reached the community and helped them giving PPE, particularly hospitals like Robert Johnson, Flushing Hospital, Cook County Hospital in Chicago, and nursing homes. We donated PPE. And also we donated food for the migrant workers in Florida and the Washington, DC area. And total more than $150,000 were donated to the community through AAPI. And we made several webinars to educate the physicians in the US and also in England, Australia, and also in India. And we'll continue doing that. And we'll try to, hopefully, we'll be able to fight out this invisible enemy. And also, AAPI, the first physician organization, reached the President Trump and other lawmakers, including senators and congressmen, to educate them the use of plasma treatment, how strong it is. And subsequently, it has been approved by the FDA. AAPI does several activities in the community and all over the world. AAPI does support 17 free clinics in India, and over 1 million patients will be seen through these charitable clinics in India. With that, I wish you all well, and congratulations, UPASA, doing this World Thrombus Day. And thank you again, invite me again. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much. That was phenomenal, and it was really great to hear.
We would now like to welcome our next Chief Guest of Honor, Mrs. Stephanie Van Arsdale. She currently works at a commercial real estate investment firm. She's very involved in the community and has also worked on Congressman Michael McCall's first campaign and congressional staff, and was Congressman Kevin Brady's campaign manager. Thank you for joining us today. Can you please say a few words?
Hi, good morning. Thank you, or good evening, depending on where we are. Just wanted to thank you so much for allowing us to be a part of this. It is truly an honor. I'll let my husband do a little bit more talking about what the COVID has done in the last several months around this community and beyond. And I look forward to hearing from all of you. Thank you for having us. I really appreciate it.
Vidya, you're muted. You need to unmute yourself, Vidya.
Sorry about that. All right. Thank you. So next up, I would like to give a hearty welcome to our final Chief Guest of Honor, the Mayor of Cedar Park, Texas, Mr. Corbin Van Arsdale. Mayor Arsdale currently serves on various boards such as the Texas Civil Justice League and Texas Business Roundtable, to name a few. Prior to being elected as mayor, he served on the City Council and is a former member of the Texas House of Representatives. Can you please say a few words?
Yes, thank you. Can you hear me okay? Yeah, when I heard we were going to be also broadcast in India, I got nervous because I thought we might be interrupting some cricket matches. So I hope we're not making anyone angry about that. Or maybe you're actually watching the cricket match over on the side and not actually paying attention to us. But we did make up for it, wear our orange and green ties. But Cedar Park is a suburb of Austin. We have a population of 80,000 people. We have a very large Indian population here in Cedar Park, as we have a lot of tech companies like Apple, Google, Facebook, and others that are moving to our area. But I can tell you that, and you know this, but the United States, the way they handle disasters is unlike most countries. It's a much more decentralized approach in the United States, and a lot of that is an attitude and a mentality of Americans. But also part of that is that's just the way we're set up to operate. So when it comes to health matters, a lot of times it's up to the governor of each state and the mayors and the counties to decide how to handle things. The actual president of the United States doesn't have a whole lot of authority, actually, legally to handle pandemics and things like that. So it's been an interesting experience in the United States. We haven't gone through anything like this on this scale since the flu in 1918. And back then, as you know, the United States didn't really have a medical community at all. Europe was the only place that had a medical community. So it's been a big learning experience for the United States and really the Western world, because the Western world is not really used to some of the respiratory illnesses and like wearing masks. You know, the Western world has been very resistant to that. They're getting used to it now, though, once they realize that's how you stop airborne diseases. But the way it's worked, I've tried to watch, because the mayor does have authority over his city and what he can and can't do in terms of restricting movement by people in a disease pandemic, and also when it comes to things like masks or shutting down businesses, that is the mayor's role. What I've tried to do is listen and pay attention more to the scientists, the epidemiologists around the world and what they're saying, what they're hearing. More than I am the politicians, because the politicians don't seem to know much about how to handle this, and the scientists do. And so when coronavirus started coming around, I would get over on the medical journals online and see what they were saying. And early on, it was apparent to me that it was more of an airborne transmission and less so much a surface transmission. And so when these epidemiologists were recommending masks as a way to reduce that, and I had spent some time in Asia back during SARS. So I was one of the first suburban mayors in our state to implement a mask order. And, that caused quite a stir here. But once we did that, the 5 days later, our governor did his mask order. So we were actually before him, and our cases were going way up very quickly in late June, early July. And when the mask orders went in, they've been dropping for the last 2 months. Now, just in the last few weeks, they've started to trickle up a little bit, but everyone's got masks now. Originally, it was maybe 10% of people were wearing masks, and now it's 100%, 95, 100% are wearing masks when they're out and about. But I think that we've learned a lot from just watching I look at what other states are doing, what other cities are doing, which ones are working, which ones aren't. But mostly I'm watching what the scientists and epidemiologists are saying online, because I mean, they're learning too. They're learning, how is it transmitting, but they're also learning once people get it, what kinds of treatment, because I have to really keep my eye on the ICU, how full the ICUs are, because once those start getting close to full, that's when we had to do something. And that's when I told the governor, everybody else, we're doing a mask order. We agreed to do it. We put it in. Our ICU usage has gone way down since we put in masks. So it's a real honor to be here for Stephanie and I to be here today with you. And this is a very well-planned and well-organized event. So thank you.
Thank you. Next, we would like to host a brief Q&A session for our chief guests of honor.
Thank you so much for enlightening us a very good speech on mask order. It is essential for saving a lot of lives. Thanks, Mayor Corbin Arsdale and Dr. Sudhakar Jonnalagadda and Mrs. Stephanie Arsdale. So now we would like to have a brief Q&A for our chief guests. There are a few questions from India, where Dr. Nandakishore, he is a Gaman CEO. He wants to ask a couple of questions, for our chief guests. Can you please go ahead?
Namaste, Mr. and Mrs. Mayor, Corbin and Stephanie. Namaste. I bring greetings from India, from all my speakers, thousands of viewers on and off on the live YouTube, and millions of population from India. Mr. Mayor, my question is, during this panic-stricken pandemic, where there is fear, anxiety, stress, and uncertainty being the only certainty in these situations, I've learned that in your own family, you have a doctor, a frontline warrior, and a strong bonding force which can hold the diverse community on your side. And how easy or difficult it is for you to motivate them or to convince them to keep the mask on, and not only the family, to the society and a diverse community with rich culture and heritage and entire nation. And today, sir, in these tough times, you still gave your time and for India. Now you are a true global leader. How easy or difficult it is? What is the secret of your energy? How you are able to motivate the people? And please don't tell me Mrs. Stephanie is the secret.
Well, she's a big part of the secret. I'm not going to lie about that. So, but what I would tell you is, when it first hit, it's almost emotional to go back and think about the first few weeks and what it was like to start having to deal with that, and knowing what on the private calls we were having. We had daily calls with both our county heads, the governor of Texas, and also probably 3 times a week with the White House. And when it became apparent that our governments did not have the equipment that we needed, they did not have enough masks, they did not have enough gowns, they were not prepared for a pandemic. Americans are always used to the government being able to handle anything, and that was really unusual to experience. That a country as wealthy as the United States did not have things to take care of its people. So it felt burdened, but absolutely, you have to be very transparent with. We were very transparent with our people as to what was going on, and you have to, first and foremost, you have to acknowledge the that everyone's scared. And you have to acknowledge that everyone's worried about their families, their health, their jobs. And I think that's one of the ways, to be honest, to be very candid with you, that our federal and state government leaders here did not do. They were not acknowledging to the people that they were scared. And I think that when you acknowledge how everyone was feeling first, then they begin to trust you when you're asking them, or in some cases, making them do something that's either strange to them, something they don't want to do. And absolutely, Miss Stephanie is the one that is the best at that. So she was able to help me convey how to talk to people. I'm more of like, how do we fix it? How do I get to the answer and how do we get there? But she's more about, you have to acknowledge how people are feeling, and that's actually more important, because then when we don't know where this is going to go. So when you start telling them we're doing this, or we're shutting this building down, or you're going to have to start wearing this funny looking mask that you don't want to wear, they are more willing to trust you and follow you if they know they care about you.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I now understood acknowledging transparency, honesty, trust, building the trust. And thank you very much, sir. It's true pleasure and honor to have you here. You're a huge inspiration in Hyderabad as well. Next time you can contest here in Hyderabad as well, sir.
I would like that.
Thank you so much, Dr. Nandakishore, for your valuable question. Namaste. And we have one question for Mrs. Stephanie. So any specific message you want to give it to the frontline medical professionals and scientific team who are working on therapeutics and vaccines?
No, they ask you. Good. Well, she's shy. She doesn't want to talk.
Oh, sure, yeah.
Now,
It's not my thing.
when we hang up, she's going to talk.
A lot.
Say that. But what she would say is she would just want to, she would speak from her heart. I mean, that's what she does. And she would want to talk to their hearts and really their families, their spouses, their children. And just thank you, because we know we are around our first responders, our police, our firefighters, our EMTs, emergency folks. And they're the ones that are putting themselves right up into, and we have one daughter right now who's a nursing student who is working with COVID patients right now, even as a student. And then we have a son who is a medical student, and he is in Houston studying medicine in his first year of medical school. And he's married to our oldest daughter. So we know people that are in those situations, and it's just like anything else. When you're having to be around people that have the virus, and that's putting your family and kids around you, and you hear some of the stories, where people that are in the medical profession are having to get in their car and put their dirty clothes on one side of the car and their clean clothes on the other side of the car. They have to keep them separate, and just self-quarantine, and really just the isolation, the social isolation that takes place by not being around people that you love or want to be around, and then having to be around maybe people that you don't want to be around more than you normally do. And it's just hard psychologically and mentally. And so I think that really what we say to those people is the whole world is really dependent on you. I mean, the whole world is counting on you. And I know it's a lot of weight to carry, being in the position you're in, but and you may not feel the thanks, but I mean, the whole world is depending on you, and thanks you for what you're doing.
Thank you so much for your great answer. We have one question for Dr. Jonnalagadda. So 1 in 4, suffer from thrombosis. So can AAPI take this campaign at a global level, because you are well connected in places like UK and Europe, Australia, and other places, and you frequently visit a lot of places and conduct conferences. And one more point, what Mayor has put forward is the psychological stress on a lot of people due to COVID. So can we expect any events or the support from AAPI, your organization, because you have like 100,000 physicians in this country?
Yeah, it is a very good question. In fact, we are doing the webinars related to regarding the physician burnout and stressful conditions, and we are spreading to everywhere in the globally. We have a global physicians with coordination enter the world. We are spreading this physician burnout and stress, how to relieve the stress. In fact, we are affiliated with some of these meditation organizations. We are giving them lectures, especially the breathing exercises, very important for during the COVID time. And we promote that through this. I want you, but only thing we are not offering to the non-physicians. Okay, going only for physicians. Definitely, I'll pass the link next time to your organization. Please join. And all these webinars, including the depression, anxiety during the COVID times, and it's a very well recognized entity right now during the pandemic time. Coming to the World Thrombus Day, we did not promote this so far. I think this is a good idea. Definitely, I'll look into that. I'll talk to my executive committee and see what we can do in future to promote this World Thrombus Day. And thank you again. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Now I hand over to Anam and Neha Kothapalli. Please proceed.
All right, thank you so much for your great responses. It is truly an honor to have you here. So with that, we conclude our Q&A segment, and we will be moving right along